We have a mushroom pizza coming at some point. Yeah, I got a certificate.
Hi, I'm Kate Brodock. I am here for LocaPour, Central New York. We are here at Kaz Pizza. We're at a tap takeover, and its Empire Brewery has taken over every single tap in the joint. So it's a perfect opportunity to get to know the beer, to get to know the brewer, who I have right next to me, and talk a little bit about this delicious craft brew from the area. I have with me Tim Butler. He is what's exactly your position, Tim?
Director of Brewing Operations.
Okay. He's at Empire. He is the magic behind every single beer here, and they have a whole bunch more. So we're gonna have a pint of beer and talk a little bit about it. All right, Tim, what's the beer you have right now?
Currently, I'm drinking Downtown Brown from Empire, obviously.
And what's in it?
Well, Downtown Brown is an interesting beer. I'm a big fan of brown ales. And I specifically like English brown ales, but I'm also a big fan, as you know, of American hops. So what we did with Downtown Brown is we brewed a traditional English-style brown ale, a bit stronger in ABV than most. It comes in at about 6.5%, which to me is sessionable, if you ask me. Some people it's a little too strong for session, but not for me. And then I cross it with...
True brewer.
Then I cross it with American hops. There's Chinook, Nugget, and Centennial in this. But I use Thomas Fawcett maltsters. Their specialty malts, I think, are some of the best in the world. They're grown in England. They're malted in England. So you get that English character of the malt combined with the American flavor of the hops. And it gives you kind of a hybrid, unique brown ale.
Great. And so because we're focusing a little bit on local here, in this beer in particular, what do we have local going on? How much?
Water.
Oh, that's good. But the water comes from where?
Which could be 98% of any given beer. The water that we use in Syracuse comes from Skinny Atlas Lake, which happens to have some of the best drinking water, tap waters, in the world. And it's also great water for brewing.
And you guys do all your beer with that, right?
Currently, right now in Syracuse, yeah, that's where our water comes from. It comes from Skinny Atlas Lake.
For the record, Skinny Atlas Lake is, I believe at one point, was second cleanest lake in the country. So that's pretty good. Okay, so you've got some other beers. Let's talk about a little bit of the local ingredients. I know you guys now, Central New York used to be the hot area for hops farming back when hops came originally to the country, right? And then it got sort of sucked out west, but there's a little bit of a revival. So how are you guys viewing that? What are you doing? Are you using any local hops for any of your beers?
You just said sucked out west, which was pretty awesome. Never heard you say that before. Sorry.
That's all right.
Anyway, yeah, we do have a couple of beers that currently use local ingredients. The one that you're drinking right now, which I believe is the Deep Purple, yeah? That uses all New York State-grown Concord grapes, which go to a place called the Growers Cooperative, which then processes that into a juice, which then I put into the beer. We also have a beer called Empire State Pale Ale, which is made with all New York State-grown hops. Last year, the hop growing season here wasn't the best. Some of the farmers didn't get a really good crop, so I'm currently out of all New York State hops right now. So I'm not producing Empire State Pale Ale. I'll have to wait for this harvest, and then we'll bring that back. And we also every year, we do our seasonal pumpkin ale made with pumpkins that are grown.
A really good one, really good one.
They come from Critz Farms, which happens to be about a mile away from where we sit right now. And I also do a wheat wine, which uses all New York State grown barley, wheat, and hops. So the more ingredients that become available, the more we're going to use them. And you asked about the importance. The importance is obviously just trying to create growth in the agricultural sector due to brewing beer. And we believe that there is a huge opportunity for that. And the more that we can use, the more that's going to help spur some local agricultural growth that can directly benefit from the craft beer industry.
And these guys are pretty true to that. They have a pub that is also part of the brewery. Delicious food on the menu. Of the more local stuff, what's the best thing in your opinion on the menu?
In my opinion, I go with the Kobe beef burger every time.
Elk is, I like the elk one.
Like the elk?
Oh,
They're
delicious.
both great.
So good, so good. And I pass those Kobe beef every single day on my way to work. It's great. All right, next question. Can you show the camera? You're awesome. See that? It's a hops. It's pretty good. Very nice. That's a very true brewer right there.
True brewer.
True brewer.
Tattooed on you.
You
Should
do.
be brewing beer.
You got it. All right. Well, that about wraps up the first edition of LocaPour Central New York. And that's a cut. Carrot, yeah? Good? Okay. Hi, I'm Kate Brodock. I am your host for LocaPour Central New York. We are currently right now in Kaz Pizza. There's been a tap takeover. Empire Brewery has taken every single tap in the joint. It's going to be great. Cazenovia is in an area where the local food movement has been really important. A lot of people have hopped on board for economic reasons, support local economy, the deliciousness of the food that you get on your table, and the deliciousness of the drinks in your hand. A little bit about LocaPour. LocaPour focuses on the craft brewer industry, and they focus on breweries who are really doing it local, who are using local ingredients, who are having a lower impact on the economy, or who are having a lower impact on the environment. All right. I'll do that again. We're having focuses on breweries who are really the craft breweries who are into the local food movement. They're in it for environmental purposes, the robustness of the ingredients, and they're really there to serve the local consumers. So we are here. Central New York used to be when hops first came over from Europe. Central New York actually used to be the hotbed for the hops industry. Slowly, people started moving out west, and where they could buy larger tracts of land, got a little bit more industrialized, that sort of thing. But there's been a recent revival in the hops growing industry here on a low scale to be starting to serve the craft brew industry. So we're in a really perfect spot to be looting LocaPour. Hops farmers have been popping up the last couple of years. In pretty big numbers. There's still a lot of demand, but it should be a really great place. And there are several local brews that will be there will be several local brews that we'll be focusing on in the next couple of episodes. That some have been around for a while, some of them are brand new, but most of them have started to revert a lot more to local ingredients. And again, just being true to the style of the region, etc. So we'll be chronicling those in the future, and thanks for coming.